Hey, Mzansi, what's up? I'm hanging out with obviously the coolest minds in technology space. It's a moment with V. Thanks so much to my special guest for joining me today. We'll quickly do a quick intro with him. Don't you worry about it. But just some quick house rules. This is a pure professional space or educational space, so to speak. So this is to help the unemployed youths out there who don't understand what the hell's going on in the job market, or somebody who is actually even trying to just swift jobs or swift careers into a different space. And what a better space to chat to somebody who's in the profession. And we would like to introduce somebody so special to me, Siphiwe. Thanks so much, dude. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You're right.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Thank you for
Oh
having
my
me.
word. Where in the country are you? South Africa, by the way.
About 1,400 kilometers north from where you are.
And that is a technical technical senior BA, by the way. So very, very, very awesome to have him on the space. He's definitely going to be telling us about the intricacies of exactly what he does on a day to day, but also some fun stuff. So let's start off light. So, Spiwa, if the people see you on the streets and they see you at maybe on a concert or wherever, what are they buying you? What are they buying you? What alcoholic beverage are they buying you in the streets?
The colder, the better. Just keep it cold, eh? And none of these flavored beers. So just pure beer,
Oh,
extremely cold.
so
Yeah.
yeah. All right, cool. So guys, you've known it. So as soon as you see this space, please buy him a cold beer and you can get everything out of him. Easy, easy does it. All right, cool. So you've been in this. So let's talk about it. Spio is a technical business analyst, and he's been doing it for many years. And I want to understand from a graduate perspective because I would have never know what the hell a technical BA does. So let's give it layman's terms. What do you do, bro?
No, all right. So basically, I think at a very high level is, come up with solutions or technical solutions to problems
Nice.
faced by business, society, could be yourself even.
Nice.
So I go in, try and understand the environment or what the problem may be. A lot of the time, I tend to realize that what a client thinks is a problem is not the actual problem. So you get a requirement where, they want the latest
Yeah.
solution of a software. And then you go in,
Yeah.
do analysis or do a lot of investigations to try and find the root cause of what it is that's sort of, bugging the client, and then you go in
Nice.
and you realize that it's not them having the latest, solution or having a bespoke software solution may not
Nice.
be the problem. It could be processes, data processes, them not following their own policies and procedures, standing up
Nice. Yeah.
um, procedures. And when you then sort of after that investigation, you then realize, okay, if it's processes, you then advise the client, what, your problem isn't the technology, it's
Yeah.
processes. But it could also be a case of using extremely outdated technology, whether it be the hardware or software, and
Yeah.
then come up with a solution, sort of then design a solution to solve, said problem. It could be a combination of re-engineering the process,
Nice.
these processes, in addition to introducing new technology or simply just upgrading current existing technology.
I like that. I like that. And thanks for sharing. So do you say like to the current, you know, person that's kind of studying and trying to figure it out, do you think it's important to have a degree for the individual to be in your current position today?
Well, as a technical BA, I think it all depends on sort of which area you want to focus on. I mean, I've worked with
Yeah.
individuals who had a completely different degree to the one that I studied.
Yeah.
And maybe they weren't referred to as technical BAs, but a lot of the work, they could do it. So whether it was a BA, general BA and something else.
Okay.
I've worked with people who've come from the CA stream, chartered accountants who've gone into consulting. I work
Yeah.
with engineers, guys who did, industrial, electrical, mechanical who then changed careers. But the technical side of things, because you do engage one with the client, so having sort of that business acumen does go a long way. Which business acumen you can get it from reading your data.
News 24, I'm hoping, or
News
Business
24,
Day or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 But the more technical side of things, I do engage with software engineers on a daily basis. So being able to speak the same language,
Nice.
the software engineers.
Yeah. And not Xhosa, right? Not Xhosa.
Yeah. Not yet. No. So it's that, and then being able to leave that environment and go spend time with business and be able to speak their language. But for me, having a degree, helped a lot. It did open way more doors. So it is an advantage. Your bigger clients as well, particularly your big corporates, for them it does become a requirement. So that is a good sort of foot in the door. But I do know individuals who, don't have university degrees, don't have college diplomas. So it is possible, but it is a bit tricky. There's a lot of things that you can learn on the job, but a lot that you sort of get from that classroom sort of setting, and that is what gets you going. Particularly, when you have to come up with innovative solutions. Sometimes I'd have to kind of draw on.
It can be tricky.
It can be tricky, yeah. It can be tricky, and especially when organizations, want best practice. So these are things that you pick up.
Methodologies that you need to understand the theory behind, etc.
You wait to an interview, especially as a young person, where you may not have this knowledge. If you've been on a job, in industry for a while, you can pick up some of it. But you go into an interview as a young person, and let's say if you haven't gone to uni or college, or I know there's an institution that does a 6-month BA program, but without that, because these are some of the questions that will get thrown at you, experience,
Thanks. Very scary.
Waterfall, how do you sort of compare and contrast the two? So these are things you'd get from a classroom setting. Else, without that, it will take you a lot of time to sort of get it hands-on or out there in the workplace.
Cool. I love that, and thanks so much. But let's like dial it back a bit, right? So let's say we put you in a time capsule, right? To back when you were 18. Would you change the profession that you're currently in?
That's personal, and I'm not sure if it's going to be helpful to this discussion, but definitely, I think the degree that I studied, I would have gone with maybe a double major rather than a single major. I did a BCom in information systems, and at the time, GCT. So I did my honors.
You gotta fly your flag, dude. Like, come on.
I did my undergrad and honors at UCT. And I remember after I'd left, they actually then introduced a double major. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. In fact, I would have definitely, taken that up. So I definitely would have done a double major, and seeing that, I've gone on to go to business school. So I probably would have wanted to, I don't know, maybe balance the information systems, or maybe done a comp sci information systems or information systems and something else, maybe more business, maybe economics or something.
Nice. Okay. And two more questions before I let you go. But number one, obviously in your space, what is the number one tooling, or if you can name top 3 tools that somebody who's a junior BA out there, who's a technical guy, who's just trying to upskill himself, like what would you kind of recommend on top 3 toolings to upskill on for sure in this day and space?
Okay, for me personally, visual. I've used, visual since my uni days.
Visual, guys, visual.
But the other similar tools, especially free tools. And they've got one of these browser-based tools that a lot of people use. And as a BA as well, you do a lot of business modeling. So visual, you could use that. But I think just understanding, your business modeling, business process modeling notations. That's something that.
That's it. Okay.
And it could be for what you're doing. It's something you could use. I've used, visual for a whole bunch of, models that I've had to come up with, outside, BA workspace. And the fact that you engage with business a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fortunately and unfortunately, a lot of organizations still use Microsoft products. So as you go from having to model, instead of designing your solution, and at the end of the day, you need to present it.
Yeah.
And when you sitting in a boardroom and you bring up Visio, it can be a bit clunky, or any other modeling tool. It can be a bit. You need to sort of keep in mind that, hey, this is actually business that I'm talking to. They may ask for that material beforehand. They may not want to go through a 10-page user story or a 100-page, spec. They may ask, hey, please present this in a PowerPoint, so to sort of easily convey your solution or your recommendations to business in a language that they can understand. So just familiarity with that. And I think the last one that also use, this is more for back-end stuff. So I don't code as much, but now and then I need to test, sort of a solution that has been built by the software engineers. Do run a lot of scripts, so
nice.
PLSQL, and I think at a basic,
it's an Oracle thing, hey?
The one that we know, okay, I may be mistaken. I think so. I may be mistaken, yeah.
Okay.
But we use Postman as well a lot, depending on the position that you're in. To test. I think a lot of the services, that sort of applications rely on to integrate between the two. But being able to run scripts, because I'm sort of testing the outcome. So I can do my front end testing and to sort of see what has been commented to the database, what are the results. So being able to run, scripts, SQL queries, that, especially in the environment that I'm in, currently consulting at one of these JC listed firms, that is something that a BA at any level is sort of expected to be able to do.
I like it. Last question before I let you go. Hobbies. What are your hobbies, bro?
Like you mentioned earlier, I'm a concert person, man. I love live music, festivals, sports as well.
Stunning. Are you a soccer fan by any chance?
Not really. I'm more of a cricket.
Fabulous. Yeah, the classier side of life, right?
The more chilled
side
of life.
The Capetonian life, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Spirit, we really thank you so much for your time. I hope we can change one life at a time. And let's see how far this goes. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Cheers, bro.